Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I want to do a very quick sort of midway through the year recap of one of the planning systems I have been using. Now I've been using this one in the background. It's not what I've been using for my sort of proper full day-to-day planning. For that I've been using the Hobonichi Techo book. But this I've been using for planning. It lives on my desk, and but also aside from planning, it's a really interesting planner for goal setting and helping to achieve those goals. The book I'm talking about is the Goaldigger. Now this is made by My Goals. My Goals is an Australian company based here in Melbourne, and they make a great range of notebooks and planners. I have done a sort of a overview of this at the end of last year. I'll link that below. That gives a full rundown of what is in here and what the features and some of the details about the book itself. But what I wanted to cover today was sort of how I've been using this. So this has been living on my desk, and it's I think it's more on my desk or sort of like easily at hand. And what's been really nice about it is, as I said, it's that goal setting. This year has been a strange year for everybody. The whole sort of ecosystem of our work and our lives has been turned upside down worldwide. Like for instance, here in Australia, in Melbourne right now, I'm in sort of stage 4 lockdown for the second session of lockdown we've had, and my work as an opera singer has, basically disappeared for the moment. And so a lot of what I would normally do in a planner has disappeared with that. I'm not rehearsing, I'm not getting out and touring and all those sorts of things like I normally would. So a lot of what I'm doing is online teaching and those sorts of things, which still require planning and knowing where you've got to be when and all of that. But as I said, what has made this book particularly interesting is the goal setting and achieving. So what I have done is I've been using it in a way and I'm not going to show the goal setting in here, because actually I have done this quite personally, and I've been working on both sort of financial goals and sort of like career goals and artistic goals, and also personal goals, like what I want to achieve with my health and things like a little bit of weight loss, that sort of stuff. And that's all been in here. But I want to talk about it because I think it's really interesting. What this book gives you the capacity to do is to hold yourself accountable. Now, holding yourself accountable is incredibly important in goal setting and making sure that you achieve those goals. And so having a chance to reflect on them like month to month or every couple of months is really important. I think it's all well and good to say this is something I want to achieve, but what this book gives you the capacity to do is to list what you want to achieve, how you're going to achieve it, what needs to be done when. And because it is a full planning system, as well as having the goal setting, it's got like a traditional, weekly view and all of that sort of stuff. It gives you a chance to really work out how and when. So for instance, a couple of things I've wanted to do this year, like a fairly broad one. There's a piece of music I really wanted to write, or to finish a certain point in the score by a certain time. Basically, get to the end of Act 1 of a new opera I'm writing. And when we first started going into COVID-19 lockdowns back in March, I went, this is going to be a great time. I'm forced to be home. How can I make this happen? And so I was able to put in as a long-term goal to write the opera, and then break down how I could make this work and how I could fit this into my life. And then once again, as I said, hold yourself accountable. At the end of the month, you reflect on that month. There are pages where you say, what happened this month and how did I actually make this better? And so I really, really loved that about this book. So if you are a goal setter, if you're someone who wants to achieve something, when it comes time to, having a planner for next year, check out the Goaldigger. Hopefully they'll keep producing it. A couple of basics about the book that I love is I love the size. It's bigger than A5. As I said, you can watch the review overview where I give dimensions and talk about the paper and all that sort of stuff, and do I think I do a flip through to show you what's in there as well. I love the sturdiness of this book. It has been used consistently, and you can sort of see there's very little wear on the book. And I have looked after it. It's not been traveling in a bag or anything like that. But it's a nice sort of size book. It's got nice paper quality, lies pretty flat fairly easily, all of these sorts of things. I like really good quality notebooks, and I love good quality paper, and I think my goals actually really achieve that with this. And their notebooks are the same. Their hardcover notebook is beautiful. Their little sort of pocket notebooks are amazing. So something to look out for. I'm going to show you a couple of pages in the planning section of the book to show you sort of the day-to-day use of it. As I said, I'm not going to show you the goal stuff in detail because you can see how that works in another video. But for me, it's been really great to, in a time where there's a bit of uncertainty, where the world isn't exactly what we are used to, but we're also wanting to achieve, and we're also wanting to feel like we have some purpose going through these sort of long days at home. And so something like this, which, as I said, holds you accountable, makes you aware, makes you reflect on what you're doing, has been really, really lovely. So I'll show you the little, flip through a couple of pages of the planner, and then do a little conclusion at the end. So here we have the Goaldigger planner for 2020. I wanted to go through a few pages with you, and this is from the beginning of August. I haven't filled this one out yet because, as I said, the goals that I'm using this for are actually personal, and while I like to share a lot of my story with you guys, there's certain things that I actually find I deal with better and I am able to put into practice better if I'm sort of holding myself accountable and not sort of publicizing that. But I wanted to run through it anyway, show you what I do and why I really like this. As I said, it holds you accountable, it makes you able to be able to reflect on it all. This is one of the ones I love, my morning rituals. So I'm not going by rituals necessarily. I'm going by this is my morning, what I want to achieve. So coffee, always coffee. Breakfast and medication. As some of you are aware, I'm a type 1 diabetic. If I don't have my medication, as well as a number of other sort of little things, if I don't have my medication, then it can actually be pretty dangerous. So yeah, particularly in the long run. Walk. This is one of my goals that I can share, is that I've been trying to walk a lot more, and particularly having a lot of time at home, the ability to sort of go out and walk in my local area has been really great. It's really great for my physical health and my mental health, and just being able to sort of find a few moments to yourself, listen to music, all that sort of stuff. And then 4 is swallow the frog. This is an important one. The moment I sit down to work, and I'm still trying to keep to a strict sort of work routine where possible, I swallow the frog. Now, if you're not familiar with swallow the frog, basically, in very basic terms, what that means is you select a task that is the crappiest task you've got to do that day, and you do it first. So whether it's the hardest or the most complex or whatever the case may be, sit down and do that task. Then for the goals, I like this. So you list a goal and then you focus is on that, to be able to achieve that, to be able to maintain that, to what you need to do to make that goal happen. And then at the bottom, it gives you room for notes. And in that section, what I have been doing is I've been leaving this to the end of the month. And at the end of the month, I go back and I reflect on this. Not the other reflections on the month, but just this directly here. After this goal page, we get the monthly layout, which I think is really great. One thing I love about this monthly layout, love, more than any other layout I've seen for this style calendar, is that your weekdays are pretty stock standard, but the weekends are the large blocks. These are normally reduced down to a shared block across the 2 days. These are individual blocks. They are large blocks. And what that means is it puts the focus on you. Now, at the moment, every day is just a day. There's no weekend, there's no week. It's just day after day. But if you're working through the week, teaching, rehearsing, whatever, and then you've got the weekend, that's time for you occasionally. So that's nice to be able to have time there to actually go, okay, let's use this time. And so I love that layout. Basically what I do here is I put everything down on here so I can look at it as a week, as a month, and go, where can I do whatever I need to do? And then we get the plain weekly layout. And I wanted to run through this with you because I think this is interesting. Okay, down the side here, you've got your days, Monday through Sunday. Easy enough, put your, appointments, meetings, that sort of thing. There's not a huge lot of space here. So if you are busier, you might want to look at a different planner, but like for, a few tasks per day, a few appointments, as I said, normally my appointments are things like rehearsals, which go 3 hours long. So this normally would probably be fairly decent sort of space. On the side here, you've got more open space. What I've been doing is I've been making basic little to-do lists here. And what I do is each day is I circle, I haven't filled this out for today yet. I circle what is my swallow the frog. So on Monday, I had a bunch of pens I just needed to clean, and I've been putting it off for days. And so I got up in the morning, had my breakfast, did my walk, got home, cleaned the pens. They were done. I could cross them off the list. So this list of things, really handy to have. At the top of the page, it says this week's focus is positivity. As Melbourne went into a second set of lockdown, like a stricter lockdown, stage 4 lockdown, positivity has been really important. On the other side of the page, I filled out some of this separately. So for instance, the top 3 wins and the grateful for section, I actually prefer to do them at the end of the week. Things I've been grateful for this week and the top 3 wins. How do I delineate those? Well, things I'm grateful for, I think sort of on a personal level, like what has been good for me this week, was I able to achieve any goal? Was I able to, make contact with a family member I've been out of touch with, or whatever the case sort of may be? And then top 3 wins, they're sort of more like, I've been doing this more as sort of work-related stuff. So, if I manage to get an invoice paid that, that has been owing to me, or whatever the case may be, that sort of stuff. To-do list, fairly straightforward. Weekly goals, things I want to achieve. So walk 5-7Ks daily, listen to music daily. I found that I haven't been listening to music much since a lot of my work has sort of been cancelled, and I really want to listen to more music. Habits, walk, music, make sure I have all my meds. Some days I don't. Yesterday I didn't have all my meds. I missed a needle. Then, drink 2 litres of water, hit my 10,000 steps. And also, this was about wanting to achieve all my goals in a day. So, and then there's a sort of note section, which I use for, a couple of times. I had a telehealth appointment earlier in the week, and I was able to take some notes, in that sort of section. And then at the bottom there, I put a shopping list, which is just handy. As I'm thinking of things, I can jot them down as I know we need them. So this is how I've been using, and there's also the rate your week section. And I don't necessarily fill that out because I think that's a little bit, for me, that doesn't add up. I can't really make use of that in the same way as some of the other sections of this book. And how do I want to feel this week? I don't fill that out either normally. It's just a little bit, for me, that's just pushing what I like to put in terms of my goal planning, because feeling is something that you feel day to day. You can want to feel positive. You always want to feel great. Maybe I could just write that. But that's sort of how I've been going about this. And this is as I said, the My Goaldigger Planner. I think it's a really lovely book, one I've enjoyed, and will continue to use and enjoy, particularly that, as I said, keeping yourself accountable. So that was the My Goaldigger notebook. Planner. As I said, it's a really simple planning system. The actual day-to-day planning in this is really well thought out and sort of considered, and gives you options for quite a lot of stuff to be covered. But what's really nice about it is having that ready access to the goals and what you're wanting to achieve, and helping you stay on track, and helping you to be through reflection and looking back and looking forward, which is just as important, allows you to, really see where you are and what you can do to keep those things moving forward. So if that's the sort of planner you're after, or if you're looking for planners that have functions like that, which also are beautifully made, have great little features, amazing paper, check out My Goals. If you just for their notebooks, whatever the range may be, check out My Goals. I'll link a couple of things sort of down below. Hope you found this video interesting and useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notifications button if you want to stay up to date with the videos that I produce. Please feel free to get in touch using any of the platforms listed below. You can contact me on Instagram or Twitter at @the_offstage_me, or you can contact me on any of my videos here, or drop me an email which is listed down below. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, or if there's a way you'd like to support the channel by sponsoring a review or providing an item for review, get in touch. I'd love to hear from you, and I would be very grateful for the support, and I'm very grateful for the support I have got from a number of brands, including My Goals. So thank you very much. In the meantime, enjoy your planning, stay home, stay safe, look after your loved ones, and I'll talk to you soon.